and that is the reason why I added Afearican to the Urban Dictionary a couple of years ago. My first experience of this in person was when I was living in Sydney. I was 19 years old. I was at a pub with, there was 8 of us sitting around a table outside in the sun, and a car backfired. Now, I was there with an Italian I was seeing at the time, a bunch of her friends. One was French, one was Luxembourgish, one was German. And then the French girl had brought some of her friends from the hostel they were staying at, 2 of which were from California. And a car backfired, and immediately the 2 Californians went into fight or flight mode. One of them grabbed their chair to get up, and both of them looked up and around at us and saw that we were just looking at them, wondering what they were doing. And then it was just an unleashing of empathy from the rest of us at the table, realizing how much fear was involved in their lives, and that they just defaulted to fear immediately when they heard what they thought was a gunshot. Now, cars don't backfire that much anymore, but when you hear stories from Americans that have that now live overseas, you hear these stories all the time. Fireworks go off, and they immediately default to fear. And then there's just the subtle things. They'll go out to a restaurant, and one of them will sit with their back facing the back so they can see the door. And it's just automatic. They go to a movie theater and they sit by the exits without even thinking about it. And it's got to be pointed out to them. And again, I'll use this analogy. I use it a lot. That fish joke. When you ask a fish, how's the water? And they say, what's water? When you ask many Americans, what's the gun problem like? Many of them will say, oh, it's not that bad. It's exaggerated. But the ones that leave that environment and travel to another country and live and experience another country, slowly they get like decontaminated from the fear, and they realize how much fear was an aspect of their life. And it just isn't now. They get to experience like freedom from gun violence in a way that they never got to before. And some of it's beautiful. You just get to see them come out of their shell a bit more. But it is truly troublesome how many Americans have to live in fear for so much of their lives.